All right, here we go. I'm going to talk about my trades today. I was down. You can watch the video. I'm posting it. The reason I'm talking about it is out of the trades I didn't switch cameras on pretty much all of them. I think I didn't switch it on. I did like 4 or 5 trades. I didn't switch it so you could see what I was doing. And I want to talk about the trades that you couldn't see. I was down 926 on the day. Bad day. Max loss. Started to cut it loose at minus 623 after the first couple trades failed, but I didn't. And did a lot of things wrong today. So here's trade number one. This is OUST. I got in. I'm going to show you where I bought. This is my order window. Tells me when I bought it at, tells me what I sold it at, tells me when I bought it, tells you when I sold it. So you can see I actually made the buys. So at 10:01, which is right here between this, it was 10:01:55. So between these two bars, I had great volume. Buy volume, that's 137. I'm looking over my data window to tell you. So it's 137. It was decent volume. It was basically 86 on the RSI, 90s on the 80s and 90s, which I'm looking for that. But if you'll notice, the 9 has been weak the whole time. That meant there was not really the momentum we really want to trade. But why I did trade it is because of this. That is a very strong 5. Those are 95, 95, 95 basically. It's smoking. 95 here on the RSI, 95 here. So what I was hoping, the strength of this 5, because I entered right here. I entered on the 1 right here, which was this bar on the 5. Now, turns out I entered at the top. You don't know. You don't know. But I've seen these things with this amount of strength just roll on up some more. So that was my expectation. However, didn't happen, and I do know that the one was weak, and I did it. I traded it because the 5 was very strong. I'll know better next time, maybe, because you just make the best decision you can make at the time. And plus, this was my leading gainer at the time. It was above the 30, and it had the best 5, and then the 1 started flickering. It was weak. When I entered it right here, we had definitely just hit threshold on all 3 EMAs. Up here, we had been at threshold, and then it turned weak. And that's just the way it goes. Did I make a bad decision? Well, it turned out to be a loss. So I guess you could say it's a bad decision. But the where I kicked myself is I didn't. It was strong for a moment, and I was hoping that the 9. I was hoping that was my problem. I was hoping that, thinking that the 9 was really strong, the 1 would come back into the higher time frame and be confluent with the higher time frame. It did not. But again, right or wrong, that's what I was looking at. So that was the first trade. I'm going to pause the video to set up the second trade. I'm gonna post the other video, but like I said, I didn't cover some of the. I didn't switch the camera to the right screen, and this was one of them. Okay, the second one was the second trade was ASTS, which you'll see right here. It's that right there. So I'm gonna set that up. If you'll hang on a second, I'll set it up. I'll pause it and set it up. All right, here's the second trade. And again, forgot to move the camera on this one too. So here's the time frame on it. I bought it at 1019 right here. So let's find 1019. This is 1019 right here on that candle right there. I got an X control dot, but again, some problems. It was really weak leading into it, but that's what it looks like when it is consolidating. However, again, because the 5 was so strong, I was hoping maybe whatever, just bad trades. I think I'll chalk it up to bad trades. Generally, if it consolidates and it's a strong stock, you'll still have some strength showing on the RSI. The stochastics may drop off, but RSI tends to stay high. But we got a weak RSI here. And the RSI up here, this was at 1019, so somewhere right in, let me find it, 1019. So we're somewhere right in there. All right, right there. We were on the tail end of the RSI, which there was over 90. That's a strong 5. Again, I went into the 1 because the 5 was really strong. What I should have done is waited till the 1 was really strong along with the 5. So I made 2 mistakes today. Again, just thinking the 5 being strong would make the 1 would move back into it. It didn't. So this was my second trade. I lost 321, and at this time I'm down about 545. Okay, so 2 trades down 545. Should have quit. Again, big up days like we had. I think the Dow was over 300, but it was really up. It was really up. So they're harder to trade. And I waited, and basically with all that up momentum, they do these reverse parabolics, and I've seen it a million times. I've seen them just kind of go flat and then drift down. I've also seen them go flat and then just do a move, some strong moves up because they're strong. They are the strong stocks of the day. I mean, when you're talking 95 and a 95 on the or 90 and above on RSI, and you got stochastics in the 90s, that's a strong 5, and they hold up. Generally, they hold up, and it did. It trickled on up, but I bought it up at the top. So basically, I bought 2 at the top, and it just didn't work out. But I still had a weak 1 here. Nowhere around looking at it any other way. I bought it on a weak 1. It flickered strong. It was not strong. If it's strong back in here too. So 2 mistakes. All right, let's see. SOXL was my third one. It's right here. I traded it twice. It turned out to be actually a product. I'm not going to show you it. It's actually, I actually got the camera on that one, but I didn't on the second time I traded it, which was up in here. So I'll talk about these too. But this is what I was hoping for on the first 2. QUEST and OUST and ASTS. But let's pull back here. I bought SOXL first time at 1035. So well past the open range. Let's get it up here. All right, 1035 is right in here. Like right there. See that? I had good buying. At 305, that's 305K right there. So we had good buying. I had an X control dot, which is awesome. Right here, I had an X control dot there. And then if you come up to the 5 at 1035, 1036, we're talking right in there. Again, somewhere near the top. So I basically bought all these near the top. The runs were before then. But again, very, very strong. It's 90 RSI and 90s, another strong 5. So the moves, it looks like I bought after the move. and that happens. So, but I've seen them do, again, be this strong, flatten out, and crank some more. So, bad decisions, maybe, I don't know. But the moves did happen. It was definitely a strong five, and I'm sitting there going again. Okay, I got a strong five. I know strong fives can stay strong and wait for the one to become strong. Well, I got right here. We're talking 79 RSI and 90s on the stove. That's pretty strong. That's pretty strong. Ended up, I think, over these two trades, I think I lost 70, I want to say $76 or something like that. Because the one, it was still weak overall. It was I bought it at, well, when the 5 got weak at 10:30, started to say 10:35, 10:40, there was not enough time for the 1 to do anything. So basically, I bought it at the top 3 times, and probably should have known better. But I've seen them extend that right there, especially when they're that strong. All right, the last one was another AST attempt. At this point with SOXL, I'm down 623. My max loss is 1,000. That's what if I lose 1,000, I stop regardless. But you can stop anytime you're losing. You do not have to lose max loss. So here we go. The last one was ASTX again. ASTS, I mean. And here we go. I'll do the numbers. I'm still recording, yep. All right, so the last buy was up here at 10:58. Almost an hour past the open range. And this thing had been in the middle of the open range, fired up to be like maybe 3 or 4 from the top, symbols from the top, and it just moved back and forth from the middle to about almost, I don't know, quarter way up or quarter way from the top. But bottom line is it looked like it was going to be finally, after this move here, this was going to be a better move. So let's see. So 10:58. All right. It's 10:54. Here's 10:58 right there, that bar right there. All right, got great volume. It's like 291K. My RSI is weak, which makes the play weak. But I have 90s on the stove. And then we look and compare it to the 5, which is at here at 10:58. It's that bar. The 10:58 was in that bar right there. That's an 11 o'clock bar. So I've got an 11 o'clock. I got an X control 3 there on the 5. It is a strong stock. It has been strong for the day. Let me get it here so it don't look so. And see, it kind of consolidated here. So when I saw this, and it has been strong back here, the problem is it wasn't strong now. I made every one of those were not where they should have been. We should have been trading this area, even though I maybe I need to be more flexible. I don't know, but these are strong. When you're talking 90s on RSI and 90s on stochastic, that's a strong 5. And then the ones can be in the 90s also, but I generally figure they're around 80, 85, 90, 95. That's very good for the 1. They're a little more reactive than the 5. The 5 can hold that, and the 1 can move around a little bit more. But basically, I think I did, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Basically 5 trades. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 trades. Were they premium decisions? Absolutely not. Uh, I I take full responsibility for the terribleness of today's trading. They were weak trades. I'll just say it. They were weak trades. They were momentarily strong, but overall they were weak. The best parts were the early morning, like OUST. But I'm telling you, that is hard to catch. That is very difficult to catch. That's only 15 minutes. Well, I'm on the 20-minute mark, 20-minute bar. But that's very hard to catch. But that is a very strong stock. And let me tell you what today will do. Today will make you want to start trading earlier in the day, earlier in the move. You don't have to. I know you don't have to. I've seen it. Today was just one of those days where the market powered up and everything went up with it, and I knew it, and I still took trades that were overextended. I guess this is my fault. It's not the indicator's fault. This is my fault. I wanted to make something that wasn't there happen, and it didn't happen. So it cost me $926. Bottom line is, nice to catch this reverse parabolic. I mentioned that earlier I don't know if it was yesterday's video or sometime other, but that's what I call a reverse parabolic. But what a real strong stock would do, but what happened is the market pulled all the way back. Well, not pulled all the way back, but started pulling back about this time, and pulled everything back with it. This is the Q. So at 1050 and 1020, the market started pulling back. So at 1020, it's still kind of going up, but way out here, it started pulling back at 1050, 11 o'clock. And this is, let's see, 1050, where is it at? 1050 is way out here. So it was already pulling back. But the bottom line is the market can pull them down. And didn't happen to be that one, but maybe some of the other ones. But the bottom line is, I did horrible at looking at the overall picture. Some of the moves were already in the book. I'm gonna go ahead and say 5 for 5. They were in the book. The best one we had a shot at was SOXL, and I didn't trade that. I didn't trade that one very well. If you come and look at SOXL, this is what you want. You want it very strong. You want it to flatten out, which it did right here. But everything else, when it flattened out, it won't by much. They rolled over, and they were actually probably a little more extended, like OUST. But this is what you want, and I didn't trade it very well because I was already down. At this point, I was already down 545. So any weakness, I got out of it. And it was these two trades right here. These trades right here, number right here at 1035 and 1038. So 1035 would be, again, almost at the top, but there was still some play there. Could have got in at 224 and got out at 226, maybe almost 227. So that little blurt right there, that's $3. That's pretty strong. That's a pretty good move. Again, I never expect to catch the whole move, just a piece of it. And because I was down, but you notice, I'll show it to you again. This 9 was weak, and that's why I didn't hold on to it. Well, that ain't the 9 I was talking about. OUST. OUST was weak. That one I should not have traded. But this is more. This has got more 9 hitting threshold. That means it's a stronger momentum. So at let's say right here, let's go ahead and say it started breaking out. This is your 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. It's your 30-minute open range right there. Somewhere along that right there. That's your 30-minute open range. Okay. It flattened out for a couple of bars, which would be these bars right here. That's your flatten out part right there, between 10 and 10.10. And there's 10 and 10.10 right there. 10 and 10.10, that's that area right there. So basically, the 5 held on this pullback. It dropped just a smidge right here, but it held and started back up. It's like I said, hindsight, man, hindsight. But definitely all the trades I took today were not very strong trades. They were weak. They, I guess maybe, I don't know, FOMO. But it was bad trading on my part. And if you'll notice at 10:15, and did I make a 10:15 trade on this SOXL? I did not. I traded, the first trade was 10:35, so right up here, 10:35. So I was almost through the trade. Maybe I was, I don't know. I don't know why I didn't see it, but I didn't. Again, these were not really buried. At 10:35, we're right here. We're at 74, 80, and 99. We want this to be, the RSI to be 80, and the stochastics, both of them, to be in the 90s, and they weren't. So basically, another weak trade. We don't want to be in a trade that takes this long to make our money. We don't want to be in that. We want to be in and out. This was from this break, this is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. It's like a 30-minute run, and it made good money, but I don't want to be in a 30-minute trade. I don't know. I guess if you can figure out how to trade just the 5 and hold those pullbacks, then that could work too. But the one, like I said, the one can pull way back like $2, and the 5 still look good. So basically, your 5 looks good, but you're down $2 on it. So I don't know. It was not a good day. I hit my max loss, and I didn't do a good job of switching cameras. So I wanted to do this video and show you what I did. And basically just didn't do a very good job at looking at the overall picture. So my fault. I'm glad nobody was trading with me because that would have been a disaster for all of us. And but the indicators do work, but that doesn't stop human error, which is what I did today. And I guess you could say I overtraded, and I've done that before, but I try to keep it to a minimum. But this happens. This was probably the best move of the day from the 30-minute open range. ASTS from the 30-minute open range. Didn't really do anything. It's 30 minutes right in here. Notice that big top and tail right there. That means that was a big pullback. But the 30-minute open range bars the 30 minutes is in right here, but the open range bar is right there. So from the open range here, it didn't do anything. It didn't do jack. And it started getting weak out here because we lost all this RSI. We lost RSI from 91 down to 79. We lost strength right there. And I entered ASTS the second time at 10:58. Did it get any better at 10:58? No, it stayed weak. but I still tried to get in it right there. It stayed weak. I mean, it's above 80, but it was still weak from what it was. And the one, I've said it before, and I guess I didn't tell myself again. The one leads the five, and when the one is weak, the five will become weak. So when I was getting into weak ones, thinking the strong five was going to be was going to and it does happen, was going to pull that back up to its level of strength. It should be the other way around. We want the one to be, we want the five to be strong, but we also want the one to be strong. We don't want it to be weak going into. We actually want it to be a little stronger leading the five, and I didn't do a very good job of that at all today. So I don't know. It's disappointing, but that's how it is. That's ASTS. See, not a very good, not very. I mean, it did move, but not. Let's look. We trade the one, so let's look at the one. That's 30 minutes in there. It's kind of so-so. I mean, that one bar is a good bar. It went from 120.50 to 123. So almost almost a $2 bar. 120. Let's see, 120.50 to 123.50. Almost a $3 bar there. But we didn't get any of those in our favor today. And sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Today was one of those days it didn't happen. And the 30-minute bar is, the 30-minute range is where? Right here. All right. So this was the 20-minute bar right here. And look at that big pullback. That's why I don't trade anything before 15 to 30 minutes in. Then we got this move here. And it looked, it's that pullback right there. It's that bar right there. Is all that right there. So, but we started moving up again, but we didn't have any strength here. We didn't have any strength, not real strength. And we had blips, and this is where I got in thinking that this X control was going to give me a boost. Because look at this pace right here. That's big. So I mean, it was weak. It was weak. It had been under the 80 right here, under the 70 right here, and had been moved. It had dropped under the RSI 80 right here, and it was just a weak. And they can do that when they can drop when they stay like this, when they consolidate. But I don't know. It just, I don't know. I didn't do well. So, and like I said, the best play of the day was SOXL, and because I was already in the hole, I didn't play it as aggressively as I would have. Would have got me out of the hole if I'd have played it the second play versus ASTS. But nah. That's a strong five right there, guys. It topped out at 10:15. So you had 15 minutes to make your mind up or to find it and trade it. And from here, it's 43.50 to, if you got out right here as it was rolling over, that's 45. Almost, that's like $2. And we'll take that because that's what we're wanting. We're wanting this kind of momentum, but we want matching momentum on the one. We need matching momentum on the one, and this didn't have it. It was weak on the one. Again, 10 o'clock right there. Let's look over here. And here's 10 o'clock right here. That's 10 o'clock. The 9 is weak. Look at the heat map. It's just weak right here, right at 9 at 10 o'clock. We had this little blurb, and then it fell off, and that's where I entered. I entered it because, like I said, the 5 was strong, and sometimes when the 5 is strong, they'll come pouring in on the one, and the one will get strong again. And that's what I was. Well, I was actually expecting it, but it didn't happen. So, and then the pace came in right here. The pace was at 41,521. All I can tell you is that's a big pace. So pace killed this play right here. There's no volume there. The volume is still positive. It just probably went from positive. The buying power, not the buying power, but the buying was 23,498. So that's not bad buying, but the pace that they were hit, how hard the bids were being hit just dropped the price out from under us. Again, it makes you, it could have the pace could have came in and pushed it on up as bad as it pushed it down. But I still feel like I did a bad job at judging the overall picture. Again, bought at the high here. Wouldn't call that the high, but it wasn't. It was kind of flattening out. It was a slow grind up, and we don't want to do those. And then SOXL, that's the one I missed right here. That's the one that should have been the money maker right here. That's a strong 5, and it stayed strong for 30 minutes. There's no reason to miss that, but I did. And actually I didn't miss it. I didn't trade it right because I was already in the hole. I was ready to get out at the first sign of weakness, and let's see, I got in at 1035. Well, 1035 is up here, right there. So I missed it. I missed all this down here, and it was probably because I had it filtered, I had it sorted, and it was down in the middle of the 30 minute open range. It just hadn't moved out of it just hadn't gained any. It hadn't gained any significant distance from its open range, and again, I missed it. But look, that's the perfect play right there. That's what you want. You want it to pull up, kind of flatten out, and then find some buyers, which we did, which we had pace, we had momentum, and we had strength. We had strength. These other plays I made, the strength was fading, and I still played them. So bad judgment on my part cost me $1,000 today, my max loss. So, alrighty. The reason I showed you what I did on a separate video is because I'm new to this. I didn't switch the cameras to pretty much all the trades except I think one SOXL trade. It's on there. And I did trade it, but I didn't trade it as early as I could have. I don't know if I missed it. I don't know. I just don't know. I didn't see it. But that's it. So I'm gonna leave it with you, and maybe tomorrow, better. Maybe I'll choose better. I'll see a bigger picture and do better that way.